All right, welcome to Tyler. What do we say? A special edition of the Fatboy FadeAway Sports Podcast, a rarity. NFL Draft post special draft just ended here. West Coast time. What do we have? About 9:15. First time we've done this before, right? So stunning.
Other than like the rewatchables.
Surprised we've done it. We haven't done it more. But I feel like this draft deserved it. Big draft. Kind of a lot of stories
Humongous.
up to it. A lot of three trades on the day during draft day. Nothing huge. Maybe the Bears one we'll get into a little bit. I guess that was a decent trade there. Some Rodgers news. The NFL always likes to mix it up, throw that stuff on early in the day, get everybody juices going for the draft. I like how they just plan that out. Like these random rumors. And then, but the draft comes along here, and first two picks are what we expected. So I guess the first question is to you, Tyler, and then Brian, you follow up with it. Niners, third pick overall. How nervous were you? How happy were you with the pick?
Oh, I saw it going this way the whole time. No, I was very nervous.
No, you did not.
I was very nervous.
Man, this felt like a playoff game or something. I was like, man, I kept saying, don't take Mac Jones.
It was so much of a playoff game, you had to go to a bar for it.
It calmed my nerves.
Don't be throwing chairs at ceilings.
No, what do you think going into that pick? Like, were you honestly thinking, Tyler, they were going to take Mac Jones?
It was him or Lance. I thought they were coming, I thought they were going to take Mac Jones for sure.
That just didn't.
I didn't see you. It's just because I thought Shanahan would have the last choice, and I thought he'd just take the easy way out and go with Mac. And I'm glad they didn't go with Mac. I'm very happy with the guy they got. He's probably the best guy. I thought they could get at 3, so I'm very happy with what they did.
Baby Chef, I have to ask you. You've come on the podcast here, 2-3 times now, I believe, and every time you predicted Mr. Fields to the Niners. Are you disappointed in the pick? Do you like the pick? Are you surprised by the pick? What's your feelings on it? You're the biggest Niners fan. I know Tyler's a big Niners fan too, but
not psychotic.
You even buy Jeff Garcia jerseys, which I respect. So what's your thoughts on Lance and his jersey potential as well?
I mean, the more I looked into it even more, and I just thought Lance was the better pick because I just think that Fields would have been a problem because his regression from the first to the second receivers it reminds me too much of Kaepernick.
That's why you didn't want him, but you've been asking for him the whole time.
It sounds funny,
I guess
that sounds a little fishy to me, Johnson. It sounds like you read something on the internet because they took the guy you didn't like, and you're like, yeah, I want to know.
No, I looked at his college stats, and the guy just doesn't throw interceptions, and that's what you want at a quarterback.
Now, I don't know. What do you think, Tyler, of that?
It's a little. I mean, he doesn't throw interceptions. I agree. He went like 276 consecutive pass attempts without interception. But I don't even care what he did in college. I just see the tools, and they're better than Mac Jones's. Will he be as successful right away? Probably not. But that's why we have Big Jimmy.
You were always talking Fields.
Stephen A. says.
That's what I mean. Like, I don't get it. You guys were all like talking. All these Niners fans were talking Fields, and then all of a sudden you get Lance at the kind of the talk starts.
Listen to the last podcast. I was all about Lance.
But you also early on kind of wanted Fields too, like a week earlier before that.
Early on, and then I realized he's out of it. He's not going to go 3. There's no way.
But I thought you liked him though.
I did. I still like him. I'd like him more than Mac. I'd be just as happy if they took Fields. So there's more an anti-Mac thing.
So why did Shanahan take Fields? Obviously, this was Shanahan's pick, right? And I saw his post game.
They didn't take Fields.
No, he took Lance. And so I saw his press conference afterwards, and he said he was in Mexico and they made the trade for the 3rd overall pick. And he said like a couple hours later, he saw rumors that he had told people that he wants Mac Jones, and he was basically just making fun of the process and making fun of reporters and all the rumors and stuff. But in some ways, there had to be a little something to it, right? There has to be something to this detail. Maybe they could play it cool all they want, but I kind of feel like they maybe did want Jones at the beginning. And then, it kind of did kind of turned into Lance, this is the Mahomes kind of type of guy that I can mold, that's played 1 year, quarterback, has this unreal potential. You think that's what happened, or do you guys have a different theory on that maybe?
I just think the whole time, he was it felt like this is a smoke screen. I don't know why you would take Mac Jones when I just feel like he's similar to Jimmy Garoppolo. That's how I felt the whole time.
That's why nobody wanted him. So that's why I felt that rumor always felt a little weird.
I've never been behind or with a fan base that has been so unanimously against one guy. Mac when Jones. The Warriors were picking, it wasn't
I
they better take Wiseman over Ball, or this is. I've never, and it was. I think they actually caved into some fan
pressure.
They were worried. Yeah, some fan pressure.
If they would have took Mac Jones, people would have
been pissed.
Are you more relieved then that they didn't take Mac Jones, or happier that they took Lance?
Relieved they didn't take Mac Jones. But that's kind of weird to say. I'm happy with the guy who played in Division I AA football instead of the guy who played at Alabama. Yeah, he had two of the best wide receivers in the college game, but it's just kind of weird that that's how I feel. And
how many
I can't
quarterbacks does North Dakota State produce now?
Wentz and him, I think.
Is that it? I feel like there's one other guy that played in that. No,
it's just two guys.
Maybe it's a running back I'm thinking of. Probably
Flacco played at Delaware, and
there's some other small school. It was Wentz. That's got to be probably the other guy I'm thinking of.
I feel like he just reminds me of he's really raw and young, and it felt like when the Chiefs traded up with Mahomes, he was similar. People were saying, well, the Texas Tech system doesn't work in the NFL. So
I felt like we should have known it was Lance the whole time. Right? Why would Shanahan want this big stint? Isn't it because he liked Kirk Cousins? Probably that's got to be one.
Yeah,
people were saying that
if it wasn't for him,
and then they brought up Brian Hoyer, and I was I kind of laughed at that because Hoyer's definitely been not that good or a bust. So
I don't know if he's a bust. He was never anything to begin with.
But I'm saying to even put him in the conversation with Cousins.
It was Matt Ryan and Kirk Cousins. He fit that mold. And he could.
Matt Ryan was the third overall pick, right?
Yeah, as well.
And Cousins was the second.
I don't even think Mac Jones is going to be even as good as Matt Ryan.
Why is that, Ryan? Because he plays for Alabama?
No, I just don't see the skills where they were close to Matt Ryan.
He reads that. I thought he reads that second receiver quite well. He reads that when he opens up there. That's why he's good.
I don't want to hear from you, Darren, because you ripped up Matt Ryan coming out of college, so you can't even talk.
Darren's upset they drafted Leatherface.
Hey, we drafted an Alabama player, so that's all I know. Right? We drafted an Alabama player. That's all we're gonna go with our Raiders side of the topics.
Good old Leatherface. Second round project. The Raiders always mix it up. You can give them credit for that.
Can we go to the Raiders for a second here in the Bay Area? Well, actually, no. I have one more question with the Niners. We'll get to the Raiders on the other side here. The Niners. I got the last question I have. If you guys got anything else, the Niners, throw it out there. What the heck? Now let's take it to the real side of football here. They took the draft. They end up with Lance. Good pick. Solid upside. It makes sense if they had played Jimmy G out for the year. To me, it makes in a perfect world, you would play him out for the year and you'd let this guy develop, just kind of get reps and then go at it next year. To me, that would make the most sense. But nowadays, it doesn't seem like that's a thing. You get these rumors, right, where they offer Jimmy G and stuff like that. What do you guys think, Tyler? Let's start with you. What do you think happens with Jimmy G next year? How does this affect the team? Do they have to trade him?
No, he'll be on the team. You can't. He's not. The kid's not even 21 yet. Trey Lance. Then he's got to play at least the first 6 games. But hopefully the whole season. Like that's the goal.
So you want him?
Who? Jimmy G?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm trying
Yeah,
to.
I want him.
What do you want?
Yeah, I
like,
don't
do you want him on
a
the team?
20-year-old
like
who's never played Division I football. He played 1 game in the last 2 years to start.
But you know he's going to get pressure. Like that's
Oh
what's
yeah,
happen.
after a couple months, if we suck, then yeah, put him in.
Ryan, what do you think? Jimmy G, does he get traded here before the season starts, or during the season, or does he play it out? How do you think it kind of plays out here with Jimmy G?
I mean, it just depends on the health of the team. If they're healthy, I think they're a really good team, and I think they'll just stick with Jimmy because.
So you think those rumors are basically BS that we've been hearing?
Yeah.
Basically. Now, I do kind of believe they might have at least kicked the tires on Aaron Rodgers if that ever came up.
I think they did make a deal or tried to make a deal for him.
That's what Lynch admitted to calling that.
What would that have been? A Jimmy G third overall
They
pick?
said it was Jimmy G the third and a first.
Of like in 2030.
I mean, they don't have a first in the next 2 years, so I don't know. Like that.
Or
maybe they said a couple draft picks or something.
Would you guys have been happy with a trade like that, hypothetically?
Oh, hell yeah. I'll take Rodgers for 2 years.
Brian?
Well, I mean, you figured that you gave up 2 first-round picks to move up in the draft, and then you wouldn't have the pick this year, so you wouldn't have a first-round pick for a while. I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't think it would be good for now, but for the future, it would be like
it'd be pretty risky.
A problem.
We have a Super Bowl team now, though. We don't know how long Nick Bosa's knees are going to hold. Football is so touch and go. You take your chances when you got them. I feel like that's how I.
Broncos and Tampa Bay Bucks.
Yeah, exactly. You got Peyton Manning for 3 years and set records, and then you had Brady last year. Just weird.
Joe Montana.
You go for it when you have the chance.
Yeah, it's funny. The Niners don't really do that, do they?
No, I feel like we're always planning for the future.
That's never your system. That's never been the Niners system, really, has it? They've always drafted their quarterbacks for the most part. Yeah, they signed
Steve Young. They traded for.
Yeah, that was kind of a different situation, but you know what I mean. Like
we just weren't born yet. So
I don't know. Like, you guys have a weird history of quarterbacks in that regard. So you guys.
We always have QB rivalries.
It is. You're right. They got always him and Tim Rattay.
Even before Montana, there was Brody and Y.A. Tittle supposedly. I don't know. I know it goes back.
What's the worst quarterback early draft pick you guys can remember? Like first or second round.
The Niners are.
Yeah, the Niners.
Anyone.
Just the Niners. I got one.
Jim Drunkenmiller.
It's got to be Jim Drunkenmiller.
No, I would probably say Carmazzi because we took him over Brady.
Yeah, that was third or fourth round.
Yeah, I mean that wasn't a good pick at all. I'll give you that. I mean the guy.
Biddle never draft an Italian to play quarterback.
Never drafted an Italian to play football.
That was during the Mariucci years when they're trying to move on from Steve Young.
Oh man, yeah. What talk about a big stiff? That was the definition of Drunkenmiller there.
I know this. I know this sounds crazy about Rodgers. He puts up stats and everything, but getting it done, the playoffs. What has he done since he won the Super Bowl?
Well, that's a fair point.
Just answer me. I mean,
well, I'll say this:
He's taken a team to the NFC Championship twice.
Okay, but hold on. I always do kind of shake my head when people say Rodgers was one of the greatest quarterbacks ever played the position. I'm like, well, he does only have 1 championship. Does that matter at all, Tyler? It sounds like to you it doesn't matter.
I mean, it matters when it comes down to where he goes in history, but he's the greatest thrower of the football I've ever seen.
Really?
As far as wrist, quick, the way he gets rid of it and his accuracy. Yeah, he's unbelievable.
I mean,
Manning threw ducks.
That's what I would say my issue with Peyton Manning is that he couldn't get it done in the playoffs sometimes. He was the same way.
Manning got it done in the playoffs plenty of times. He just didn't get it done.
He won 1 or 2. He won 1 when he wasn't even good. He was terrible.
Tom Brady 1 time, and I don't know.
You can't blame it when it's
I
12
didn't think
degrees
that
outside, for
was
God's
a
sakes. You
playoff.
can't win all the games when it's 12 degrees outside.
Who do you think? Who's better than Rodgers? Like,
Well, I'm just saying, like, to me, it's kind of funny. Like, with most people, we debate, we say their championships matter, but with Rodgers, we're already saying he's like the best quarterback ever, and he hasn't even
no one
won.
says he's the best ever.
Well, they kind of always act like he's one of the best quarterbacks. Like, they just kind of make it seem like he's right there. And I'm just like, how about like Marino's got to be right in the field as Rodgers. He just didn't win a championship, right?
Yeah, he is right there. I think people still bring up Marino as an all-time great.
I guess that's the other question. Where does Rodgers go? Because there's a lot. I don't see a lot of open places in the NFL where he could go.
I think you'll see him on TV, but it won't be a football team. It's going to be Jeopardy.
The Raiders.
No one goes to the Raiders. That's any good.
John Gruden.
No, the Raiders sit on ESPN. They don't have cap space.
Oh,
They don't have anything.
How do the Chiefs have cap space?
I don't know. I asked that question last week. I don't know what the hell they do.
How does that happen? I don't get it. All right, let's take a little break. Let's take a break here. We'll come back, finish up the rest of the draft, and kind of what we think with the rest of the teams going forward. All right, we're back here on the podcast. Second part of the NFL draft recap here. Brian Johnson joining me and Tyler here on the Fatboy FadeAway Sports Podcast Thursday here, April 29th. Gentlemen, Tyler, you had this. What was your kind of thoughts on some of the draft? What's something you noticed that you want to kind of point out here?
I just found it kind of interesting that the top three receivers, Waddle, Chase, and Devontae Smith, all went to quarterbacks they played with in college, with Hurts for Smith, Waddle is with Tua, and Chase goes to Joey Burrows. And it just, I wonder if quarterbacks talk to their, if they even ask the quarterbacks their opinion on a receiver, they don't want that opinion just because it might be biased and whatnot. Do you think they ask, or I think Joey Burrow had somewhat of a say. I don't think the other two had much of but I just think it's really cool for those quarterbacks and the receivers that they get to go back and play again together. It's just awkward, weird. You don't see it very often.
No, you don't. Brian, what do you think?
And another thing, I thought the Chargers were going to trade up for Sewell out of Oregon. I was going to be like, oh, this is just like the return of
the Ducks.
Just every player goes back to play with a college quarterback.
That would have been hilarious if that would have happened. You weren't surprised that the guy that wants to eat kneecaps drafted an offensive lineman now. So that can't be surprising that the Lions took it off. Remember Dan Campbell? We're gonna bite kneecaps.
But he's gonna get up and eat more kneecaps.
And eat those. We're gonna bite those kneecaps. Tyler, Brian, what do you think? The receivers there hooking up with the college. You think they have a say in it, like Tyler said?
Yeah, I think definitely with Tua. I think he wanted a weapon as a wide receiver, and why not get somebody you played in college with?
What do you guys think of Waddle? I don't remember him sticking out as much as Smith. I guess they just targeted him more or something. I mean, his
Waddle
highlights
was hurt all year.
Is that why?
Yeah, Waddle was the top receiving prospect other than Chase. And then Chase sat out the year, and then Waddle got hurt in week 2 and came back for the national championship.
So Chase didn't play this whole season then, huh?
No, he might have played the first game. I don't think he did.
I saw
a lot of LSU guys sat out.
I saw the comparisons to Chase on the NFL Network. They had Anquan Bolden. Brian, that was a big gave me my eyes lit up when I saw that. Is he that? I mean, yeah. Anquan Bolden, that's one of the toughest SOBs that's ever played receiver in our lifetime. So
yeah, that had to be.
I don't know. That's high praise if he's playing with that.
Yeah, that had to be one of our best veteran wide receiver pickups that I've ever seen the Niners. Bolden.
Oh, Bolden. Yeah,
you remember that first game against Green Bay where he had 18 receptions and Kaepernick was looking like, oh, Cap's the real deal?
Yeah.
Right after
he's the one that made him look good.
And right after Bolden beat us in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Very disappointing.
He was wide open on the other side, and then he threw into double coverage.
Sorry, we're getting into stuff.
You guys are getting too damn.
Yeah,
no, but Tyler, understand your point about the receivers. I thought the receivers went where everybody thought they were. So they end up. So Chase ends up with Cincinnati. That makes sense. LSU connection. The offensive linemen matter, but I mean, you can win Super Bowls with second round offensive linemen and third round offensive linemen.
Yeah, a lot of people
sign a few. And then you have Waddle or you have Smith. I love that pick for the Eagles, getting him.
I like the Chargers taking Slater. I thought that was good.
Yeah, but what do you think about the receiver Waddle though? I'm not a big Waddle guy to Miami because I don't believe in Tua as much as I did at the beginning of the year. Like, is that connection going to actually matter if Tua can't throw the ball accurately? I don't think to me, it kind of feels like the Raiders pick last year of the Alabama receiver.
Yeah, they're very similar players. Can you think like Tua played with Devontae Smith? Not to get away, but Tua played with Devontae Smith, Jalen Waddle, Jerry Jeudy, and Henry Ruggs.
Yeah,
all top 12 picks at the latest.
Yeah,
no, when did Jeudy go? 16, maybe. I don't know, but
I think he went top 14 though.
Yeah, just insane amount of talent.
Yeah, to me, it's kind of interesting with the receivers. Though I like your point on the receivers hooking up with their old quarterbacks. I think they do have a say in it, and it's interesting take there. Be interesting to see how it plays out fantasy wise this year, like who they pick. I like Pitts possibly to get some fantasy love as well. My question to you guys is, what's some picks that you liked? What's some picks you didn't like? I guess I'll go first since it's my question. I like the Bengals pick, obviously, with them getting there. I like Smith. I had written down. I like Najee Harris going to Pittsburgh. I like the running back from Emeryville, California, here, East Bay, going over to Pittsburgh. That seems to be a kind of a perfect fit there, right? For 3-4 years, something like that. And then I also kind of be a surprise here, but I kind of don't hate the Mac Jones to New England at 15. I don't think it's like the worst pick in the world either. So I don't know, Brian, let's start with you. What's kind of some picks you like? You can even remark on mine if you want. Yeah. What do you kind of think? Your thoughts on the draft here. I'm going to share the screen of the first round as well here. So go ahead, Ryan.
It seems like you've been kind of like an armchair Patriots fan lately. Like you've been favoring them a lot. I don't know. I don't see anything there that's going to be successful. And you just
I'm not saying they're successful. I didn't hate the pick though with him at 15. Because I
mean, if he drops that far, you gotta take him. But
you said it on the last podcast that he was going to go to 15, and you're calling me an armchair Patriots fan. You said it, but you know what? I can't believe you right now. Unbelievable. My team has one of the worst losses in franchise history, and you call me an armchair Patriots fan. Unbelievable tonight. Unbelievable. Here's the overall of it. Anyways, that's who I like.
The pick that I liked a lot was Dallas taking Parsons.
You son of a bitch.
Yeah, that seemed like a good pick as well. I know I was texting Adam earlier. He thought the Patriots were going to get him, but he went earlier than that. That seems like a good pick for the Cowboys.
I guess I would say the head-scratching pick was the ones the Broncos took.
That was going to be one of my hate picks. The Raiders, Broncos. I don't get the Broncos taking a cornerback at 8. I mean, I understand it's an Alabama player, but I mean, it's kind of amazing to me. Like, it seems to me they would have used maybe a linebacker more or Fields.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you guys think of the? Let's kind of touch on Fields right now before we lose track. Tyler, what do you think?
I mean, as far as getting Fields, I think that was a good move by the Bears. What they gave up for him I don't think it was too much.
Too much, yeah.
I did think the Panthers reached on Horn because I thought he was going to be a late first round or early second round pick.
Out of South Carolina there?
Yeah.
He's got family pedigree.
Yes, he does.
And I thought what was cool was the guy the Bucks took. He was at his home and he lives in Yorba Linda, which is in Anaheim Hills. And I do that area for my work.
Now will Horn use his cell phone when he scores a touchdown? That is the next question. That is be the answer. Brian, you said you liked Slater. Now you must be deep into knowledge if you're liking a guy from Northwestern that's an offensive tackle here. I'm impressed with that draft out. That's why I love your knowledge here.
I just think he's just like a guy that just moles down defensive tackles, dude.
He's a good pick though for their quarterback. I mean, their quarterback's unreal. I never thought their quarterback was going to be that good. Call me with his name, please.
Herbert.
So I think that's a decent pick there for sure. So I don't know. I thought those were some like decent picks there as well. And then like it kind of got pretty weak though. The draft I felt like after 12.
Yeah, I feel like after 15 it
After,
gets
after
not
Mac
very
Jones.
good.
Yeah, I felt like the name recognition went way down there. How many quarterbacks are going to be Pro Bowlers? There's 5 that was taken in the top 15. This happens every year,
Well,
right?
I didn't get into the picks I hated.
Oh yeah, go ahead. Just do that first.
I like Travis Etienne, but I hated the pick by the Jaguars. I feel like it's a waste. They have
Lawrence?
James Robinson. What?
Which pick? Say that one for me.
The Jaguars running back pick, their second first
Oh
round
yeah.
from Clemson. I think he's a good player. I just think James Robinson and Carlos Hyde can fill that void for now. I think they should have picked a defender, DB preferably.
Yeah.
And then I didn't like the Raiders pick, obviously. I just don't get it. The Raiders are so confusing there.
They take like these Clemson and Alabama guys with like 3 to 4 years of maturity, and we love football and recruiting grinders.
And they're projected third-round picks. And
I know. It's like, how do you get recruiting grinders in the first round?
How frustrated does it make you, though? Like,
well, can you tell in my sarcasm how frustrated I am? I mean,
I want like real. I don't want sarcasm. I want real like. Emotion.
I really think. I think they.
What were you hoping they were going to do at that pick?
I think
they weren't making Leatherface.
No, I think they were in a bad position from the beginning. Like honestly, I didn't even like where they picked because you could just tell from the media there's a big drop off at 15, and so I knew they were gonna. I kind of thought they were gonna go safety or cornerback or something like that, but that's usually what they go with because they usually lack so many of them. If not, they've never had a linebacker, so I thought they might go with that. So I'm not surprised they were offensive linebacker.
I guess that's another question. Where the Raiders go from here with Carr?
It looks like he's playing another year.
Yeah. Apparently they keep him. I mean, this is Gruden's 6th year. I mean, I don't know what we do with him. I mean, I feel like this. I mean, is it enough to say this is the year? I mean, my gosh. I mean, like I told you, they're projected to win 7.5 games. I think I'm going to take the over on that, though. I feel like they should be able to win like 10. I feel like that's capable.
They should win 10?
No.
I don't know if that's a playoff spot, though, in a 17-game season. I mean, is 10 wins guaranteed a playoff?
Yeah, that's right there.
So, I mean, I think they're going to be a borderline.
I mean, considering the Redskins made it at 7 and 9.
Maybe Mariota. I wouldn't even mind seeing Mariota be the quarterback full time. Who knows? Maybe he'll end up taking the job. Can I ask my QB question?
Yeah.
How many are going to be Pro Bowlers?
Yeah.
There's 5 taken in the top 15. How many make the Pro Bowl?
2.
Top 2?
In my opinion, that's my guess. Wilson's garbage. He went to the Jets too. That's like the main reason I think he's like the Jets are the Jets. But I think it's going to be Lawrence and Trey.
Brian, how many?
He went to the best situation. I think like that matters a lot when you
get drafted.
Yeah.
Brian, how many make the Pro Bowl?
It's really hard to succeed with the Jets. I just don't see him being a Pro Bowler. I would say Lawrence. I could see Lance being a Pro Bowler, and I just have to see who gets like picked in the second round or later. Because I mean, those could end up being I think I like the guy that's coming out of Florida.
Pitts?
Trask.
Oh,
yeah. The quarterback.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's another pick I love. I love the player. I just hate the situation. Is Kadarius Toney? I think he reminded me of Deebo Samuel, but why is he going to the Giants? They just signed Golladay. They already have Shepard and that other.
You can never have too many receivers, I feel like.
For a first-round pick, you can. I don't know. I just feel like the value is not there at this point.
I felt like they should have gone linebacker at that point. Or
what do you think is the most valuable position to draft in the first round outside quarterback? What's the most valuable? Is it defensive end?
Pass rusher.
Defensive end, Solomon Thomas, defensive tackle.
No,
Solomon Thomas. Yeah, sure. What about Salim Farrell?
Offensive lineman, Robert Gallery. Second.
I could say linebacker is important too.
Yeah,
I feel like we're not valued though, unless it's an outside linebacker who's a pass rusher.
But it's like you guys even drafted Patrick Willis and didn't even lead to wins. Like, yeah, that's what I meant. Like, what's like the most like? That's where I think defensive end can possibly lead to wins if he's dominant.
Oh, it's really quarterback. It's the only position that matters. Like,
Yeah,
not the only one.
But sometimes running backs it can make a difference. Like look at Elliott the first year he got drafted by the Cowboys. They did really good that one year, and
well, you stop being an armchair Cowboys fan. You said it.
Oh, come
hey, you're
on.
a big Romo guy.
Brian, are you at NFL Network?
They won 12 games the first year they had Elliott. So don't tell me they didn't win.
Who?
The Cowboys.
Yeah, you do love your Robo though. I bet you listened to CBS on Volume 30 with him.
I would say he's got to be the best like the commentator right now. I could compare him to like a young Madden, in my opinion.
Man, this is totally off topic just because he's his teammate, but how bad was Jason Witten on others?
Oh my God! On Monday Night Football. It's Sunday night.
Which network do you watch the draft on? I posted on Twitter, NFL or ESPN if you prefer it.
ESPN.
I did ESPN too.
Because of Mel's hair? Why is it ESPN?
I'm
not a big fan
of it's more slick
now doing the draft.
I'm not a big fan of any of the guys who are talking, really. It looks better. It's more visually stimulating. And you get more highlights.
That's very good. All right, well, so who's the biggest winner of round one draft? We'll get out of here with that final question. Niners?
No, I'm not gonna be a homer.
Who's the biggest winner day one?
The fans.
Shut up.
I'd go with. I think the Patriots did really well, but I don't know if they're the biggest.
Come on.
You called it.
I think the Cowboys.
Yeah, I think that's a good pick too.
I think Parsons is a great player.
Is Frankie gonna actually watch this? Is that why we're picking him?
He was upset. I'm
gonna go the Chargers.
You're gonna go with the offensive tackle from Northwestern. I thought
that was a great pick, so I would say I'm gonna go with the Chargers.
Mr. Slater.
You didn't watch Ohio State play Northwestern, and now you're obsessed with this Northwestern tackle.
My two favorite picks are.
That's not what we asked. We already went over this.
Well, my Chase and them. That's my guys. I think Chase. I like the Bengals getting the LSU connection at 5. Because I really like Burrow. So I just feel like now you give him a top receiver with like Wilson as their offensive coordinator. I would expect Burrow, if he could get just a little time to throw the ball, I would expect big things from him with that combination. I do like what the Eagles did too, because Hurts showed more signs than I thought, and if Smith is anything, it should help.
I'm not a big Hurts fan, so I don't really trust that operation.
That is true. You're not. We know that is true. All right, gentlemen. Good little NFL podcast there.
Andrew said Burrow got hit at like a David Carr type rate, so and they had the chance of getting sold. So let's see if that works or doesn't work.
It might not work. It might work.
It's always a crapshoot. That's what's so great about the NFL draft. They get you excited for things that could be just nothing.
That's why the NFL, like when we were doing the podcast weekly, even like the NFL just brings this energy.
Yeah, they just monopolize the whole United States of America.
I felt like more people even listened even during the NFL season. You know what I mean? It's just more like there's just more eyes on the day and stuff like that. So it's crazy how it works. So we're happy we can do this podcast. Brian, thanks for joining us on it. We'll put this out here tonight, and hopefully you guys can enjoy it. Friday morning on you drive to work, right? Right. Yep. There we go. All right, guys, take it easy. See ya later.
See you Sunday.
Yeah.